Hi, I'm Jane. I love to garden. I wanted to show you how to do the winter sowing method. All right, let's get started. Some things you will need. You'll need containers. I like to use the milk jugs because they're reusable. I will be experimenting with other clear storage containers later, so stay posted for that. You will need seeds. You'll need some plant tags. You can buy plant tags online, the dollar store, or you can make your own. These are out of reusable plastic cups. You just make them. I like how big they are because it's hard to see come planting time where your tags are unless they're really big. You will need potting soil, not seed starting mix. Seed starting mix dries out way too fast with this method. It's really good for starting seeds inside, but outside, they're going to be living, those seeds are going to be living in this little greenhouse for several months. They need potting soil. And then you need a knife to cut the jugs. You're going to need drainage holes at the bottom, and you're going to need a hinge. And I'll show you in a minute how to do that. You are going to need a marker. I used Sharpies my first couple years, and when I went to open the jugs and they had all these sprouts, they were beautiful and I was able to plant them out, but I had no clue what they were. And it was a fun surprise, but I want to know what I planted so I know where I want to put it. So this marker is the garden marker. You can get it off Amazon. This is one that I found that I really like. Sharpies fade. They do not hold up to the weather outside. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to prep a jug. So I use a knife. It's just simple. I like this one. It's just a kitchen knife. So you want drainage holes at the bottom of the jugs. I like to do about 4. We live in a very dry climate, so we don't need a whole lot of drainage. If you lived back east where you get tons of rain, you might need more drainage. You want no caps. You want to leave the caps off. This is how the rain comes in. You get moisture in. This is how you get the moisture out. And because of this beautiful setup, it's a little greenhouse that's going to grow your seeds. I also like to start the cut where the handle is, so it can make a nice hinge, like this one. See how it's a nice hinge? It's better when you come springtime, you're able to open it up and plant them out. So let me show you how to do this. So I'm just going to start right here, kind of back by the handle. We're going to go around about halfway. Then I come back to this side of the handle, and then we meet in the middle. And it opens, right, snaps open. Okay, now we're going to start to sow some seeds in here. Come on in close. I want you to see how I mix the potting soil. I like it soupy. I like it very wet and soupy. This is good so that it gets this container nice and wet and pre-moistened, so these seeds, when they get planted in here, they have a nice good home for all of winter. These are going to be outside, so we don't need to water them after. We want to water before. Okay, so come on in again. See this soupy mess? So I have quite a bit of water in here, and I can use water from these. I could even use more. See the water? It's just going to drain out anyway when you actually put them in and you plant. So start with more water than less. So I'll stir in some of the dry stuff so I get a nice soupy mess. My kids love to help me with this part. Okay, we're going to put it in the prepared jugs that we have here. I'm going to put this one to the side. I have 4 jugs that I'm going to start showing you how to plant, how to sow. This method helps me so much in the winter. I deal with depression And being able to get my hands dirty, to be able to play with dirt in the middle of the winter. I can garden spring, summer, fall, but January and February are not my favorite time of the year. I do not feel happy. I want to feel happy. So doing this method really helps me with my mental health. Okay, so we're going to choose some seeds. Actually, we're not. We're going to start with soil. Okay, let's start by filling these jugs. Here we go. Put the soupy mess in the bottom of the jugs. Yeah, I said I liked it really wet. I am using something easy to be able to get it in there. Okay, come over here and I'll show you. I like them about to the lip of where we cut. And I'm going to fill this one up too. I like to do more than one. It just goes faster. But I'll just show you two at once. See how it is kind of wet in there? It's just all going to drain out. I do like to have something on the bottom, whether it's, this one is an old plate that catches from the potting pot. That's the word. It catches the water from pots, okay? You can use a ice cream bucket. You can use a recycled plastic that you have, maybe a tub or something you can put stuff in. Okay, so what we do is we grab some seeds. I'm really excited about these ones. I traded online. It's called Variegated Joe Pye Weed Pink Frost. So I'm really excited to see how this works. So this is a little tiny baggie. And if you look in here, they look kind of like blanket flower seeds a little bit. So these ones are a little more kind of a jumble. I'll show you some that are a little easier to see what you're doing. But all I do is I come over here by the jug and just put them down. Just put them in there. It's really fun. And then we want to get a label. Like I said, I've got these homemade ones that I made. I like how big they are because you can see them at planting time, especially if you have big tomatoes. Big tomato that gets 4 feet, or even bigger, 8 feet. You can't really see these little tiny tags. So anyway, what was I writing? I was writing variegated Joe Pye Weed. And you don't have to write all that, but I'm so excited about this one. Pink Frost. And you can put it right in the jug down here. Okay? And then you just put the lid like this. I might not have mentioned that you needed duct tape, but that was right in front. I'm just using the regular duct tape that I have. You don't really want clear packing tape. You can use it if you have it and that's all you have, but it kind of doesn't hold up to the elements either. And even the duct tape at the end, sometimes it's all falling off, but in the spring it won't matter as much. Okay, so let's see if I can move this around so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to take the duct tape and I'm going to start on one of these hinges. So I'm going to start toward the back. And it doesn't have to look pretty, it just has to hold it in there. And sometimes I'll do 2 of them because they're kind of a bent shape. All right, let's see. And some people are way more organized and it doesn't matter. You don't need to really stay organized with this. You can. I have a sister that's really organized. I am a creative free spirit, so I just play. Okay, then you want a label on top. Same marker. I'm going to write Joe Pye Weed. And then you just watch. Watch how simple. Come follow me. You just stick it in the ground anywhere. Outside, it's going to get snow. It's going to get rain. It's going to stay there all winter. We do live in a very dry state. So the only time you really need to water these is when we don't get water. So I would check the jug about once a week. If we're not getting moisture, if we're not getting snow, you will need to water. You could either take the hose and directly water into the hole. That's how the rain's going to come in. Or I have some used kiddie pools that my kids have had, or stuff like this. Come down here. So a kiddie pool. fill the kiddie pool or fill the basin with water and bottom water. You're gonna take it, you're gonna put it in. That's a really good way to water. But honestly, you usually don't have to water until March. You can usually just put them out there in January, February, beginning of March. The end of March, you want to start checking on the jugs. If we get a really dry season like we did last year, you're going to water about once a week. And I can help you with that as we go. I'll do update videos. Okay, back to over here. I'll show you one more time how to plant the seeds. This one I'm going to do kale. Let me find it first. It's in here. There it is. So greens work really good in this. But I honestly, when it was my first year, I wasn't very brave to try. So if you need confidence for this method, just use mine because it works. And it is very fun. And in the spring, you have lots of starts to put out in your garden. But the first year, if you're nervous, start with inexpensive lettuce seeds, kale, greens from the dollar store, hardy perennials from the dollar store. The seeds are only 4 for $1. Don't sow your really expensive things from like Baker Creek. Maybe wait off a little bit, but I know it will work because I've been doing it for about 5 years, and the only thing that hasn't come up for me was delphinium, and I'm still going to try until I get it because I want delphinium to work in my yard. Okay, so here's some kale seeds. They're pretty small. Come on in. So here's some kale seeds. You only need about 5, 6, maybe 7 in a jug. But like I said, when you're first starting this, sometimes you kind of just throw them in, and that's okay. It's fun. You'll just have a lot to divide out. Okay, so I'm going to put a little more soil in here. I like it a little bit toward the lip. Okay, then I'm going to take my kale seeds. I'm just going to drop. Can you see this? I am kind of crazy. Even I've been doing it a long time, and I kind of just dropped them. It's really not hard. Don't make it super complicated. Just play. It's fun. Just have fun with it. Okay, let me try to put these seeds back in here. And then all you do is duct tape it up. Let me find the duct tape again. Here it is. Get closer to this. Let's see. Maybe it wasn't as, hopefully, oh, I forgot all my tags. I might not want to use a fancy tag on something like kale because it'll be easier to see. It won't be as hard as flowers. So maybe I'll just write it on the outside of this one. Kale. And I eat a lot of greens. I love greens. So you take your duct tape, and this part is a little more, a little more practice. So the first time you duct tape these jugs, you're going to feel really clumsy. Like, what in the world am I doing? And that's okay. So it just takes a little bit of practice. So start where the hinge is. Start on one side, kind of just go around. If it gets wet, they don't want to tape. So I'm just gonna put it right here. Like I said, it's kind of gets a little clumsy sometimes. There you go. And even if you have to put 2 or 3 around to keep them closed, I've seen people take zip ties and put theirs. But I think we need more of a seal living in a dry state. People back east, they get so much moisture that honestly, something like a zip tie works just fine. Okay, so kind of put it there. Did we have holes at all? Pick it up from the bottom. Here's my kale, my little winter sowing project. We're gonna stick it back right next to the others and let it do its work. If you have dogs like I have, I like to put these kind of in the front yard away from the dogs because the dogs will wrestle and knock them over. But this is so much fun. Just have fun with it. Growing in the winter really helps. It helps to play in the dirt. So now you're all done. It just goes outside in the snow, in the elements, in the rain. Just have fun with it. If you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I will be doing a live event to show you Saturday, January 9th, this Saturday, 6 to 7 p.m. I will get the link up and ready for you guys to do that. It'll be on this channel. Just have fun with it. See you later. Bye.